Alright guys, another NIO update today, man. You thought I'd leave you hanging, man? Come on now. Let's talk about NIO. I'm going to jump right into the video. Smash that like button. That's all I ask, okay? Here is NIO on the 180-day chart. Now, before I get started, I get asked this question a lot. The software that I'm using is called Think or Swim. It's offered by TD Ameritrade. Check the link above. I made a video on how to get you started. Here's a 180-day chart. So as you can see, it has been appreciating over time. I like it. And this green line I have here, this is my 180-day simple moving average. And as you can see, it has found a nice support around this region, right? Generally about here, it has struggled to break through. So let's take a step back. So why did we have this sell-off today, right? The bears were in control today. What's going on? So my theory is, I think a lot of it is, it's a lot of fear and uncertainty with like the Chinese market. And I think part of that too is what's going on with Alibaba. So if I take a look at Alibaba here, and they're a big influence on the Chinese market, right? They've been experiencing, two severe gap downs due to some substantial news into that company. They're being probed right now. So something to think about there. Is that possibly why NIO is coming down a little bit? Let's look at what the technicals are telling us. Again, let's keep things high level in this video. So me right off the bat, kind of having a little bit of deja vu here, guys. One thing I'm seeing is another head and shoulders pattern. So for those who have been sticking with my videos, you've seen the head and shoulders pattern. You know we've gone through it once. I think we're going through it again. Let's talk a little bit about why I'm having deja vu here, right? So head and shoulders pattern, for those who don't know, we identified that essentially around this region, right? Here's my shoulders. Here's my head, and here is my neckline that is holding a support at about that $38.50 mark. So we've been going through this head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders patterns are typically reversal patterns. They're very strong patterns. Typically when you see these, they usually follow suit, but again, it's just a pattern, right? Patterns don't always have to result in repeating themselves. How do I know that? Here's an example right here, right? It rejected right here. And let me clear this up for you. Right, so we had that support at $38.50, and within these head and shoulders patterns, it likes to test on the far right side of it. That is essentially the major point at which it's going to indicate whether or not it's going to be a reversal or bullish push. And as you can see, we rejected off that, and we've been bullish ever since until at least recently. So let's focus in a little more on what's going on. So again, let's talk about today really quick. I'm going to start at the very lowest level, and then we're going to work our way back. Okay, so here's today. Okay, yep, so huge sell-off, big sell-off. We did experience quite a bit of support around, about that low of $43.67 about here. We saw some intraday resistance levels, generally around $44.50, and then we saw another one up here at about $45.15. So not too much going on. Net overall, it was a huge sell-off indicated by my 180-day 4-hour chart, right? We just have one big red candle here. So big sell-off today. Let's talk about deja vu a little bit, okay? So like I mentioned before, I think we're in another head and shoulders pattern. So here's one that I saw here, and here's another one that I'm seeing. So this is more for more relevant terms. So let's go to the 20-day chart. So again, head and shoulders patterns, what I'm seeing. And let me show you why I'm seeing that, right? So I'm seeing shoulders. I'm seeing shoulders about here. I'm seeing a head right here. And I'm seeing again another strong support. And I'd say at about that $44 mark. I'm seeing a nice neckline or support there. Again, I will leave a picture in the corner to show you what a head and shoulders pattern looks like. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are. Maybe this isn't a head and shoulders pattern. It's just kind of what I'm seeing. And so again, if this is the case, we are within the vicinity of that major test region, which is about right there, right? So let me show you something else here quickly, right? So we had that support at about $44, right? And I talked about this key point right here, right? Well, if I take a further step back here, let's go back to the 180-day chart, right? You can see how critical of a position this is, right? There's arguably a lot of confluence around here, right? So 180-day chart, right? We have this 180-day green SMA line. It has found support there strong, right? About 2 times, once, twice. So arguably, we're in that region. Now it has broken through the 180-day SMA line. Supports don't have to be exact. They have to be generalized, okay? And as you can see, we are generally, again, if you want to be exact, right? We're right at that point of a major test period, right? So we're testing hard off this support level that we're seeing within the last few days. We're testing hard off the right region of this head and shoulders pattern. And we're also testing hard at another pattern that I'm going to identify next here. So let's go a little bit closer again. Let's go back to the 20-day chart. All right, so the next thing I'm seeing, and again, let me know in the comments if you see something else or you want to argue this. Guys, I'm just here for informative purposes only. I'm trying to help you with the knowledge that I have, right? The prior knowledge that I have, I'm going to bring that to the table. You guys let me know if you see something else. There's guys out there that are far better traders than I am. I'm just, again, here to help. So let's take a look at this pattern I think I'm seeing here. I think I'm seeing a bull flag here. I indicated it in my last few videos, right? Generally about here, how this pattern works, right? We're seeing lower lows. We're seeing lower highs, right? They're testing in between those support and resistance levels within that flag pattern. And how this flag pattern works, right? Generally, it will get to a point where it will test that resistance level, assuming it is a bull flag pattern and assuming that it follows suit. You know, test this resistance level at some point, you know, test their good and then potentially break through, indicating signs of momentum. So I like that. I like what I'm seeing. Now let's play a little bit of devil's advocate here, guys. So if this does continue to sell off like we're seeing, right, I think, again, rest assured, I think there's a couple levels of supports that we really need to break through before this could really, you know, become something, you know, somewhat bearish. Yes, it's a little bit bearish now, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets as a whole. And then on top of that, you know, we have what's potentially going on with the Chinese market. There's just a lot of things going on right now in the world. So keep that into account. But again, I think we'll get tested at a few regions, right? So I can see us really testing at this next support at about $41, and that is like, it's going to take a lot to get there, guys. It could happen in a day if we had the same amount of movement that we did today. It could happen, we can get there tomorrow, but I think around that region is the next major support, if not again at about that $39.50 mark, which is that previous neckline that we saw in that last head and shoulders pattern. And typically with a neckline on a head and shoulders pattern, there's a very strong resistance level. But again, let's see what happens. So I'm going to talk about this more for you short-term guys, okay? So for you short-term investors, guys, so you guys that like to trade, do that sorts of thing, again, just I'd stay within the 10 to 5 day charts. Now, if you're a day trader, obviously, you know, gauge what's appropriate for you. If you're a swing trader, again, I look at the 5 to 10 days. I think it's a good range to look at. Again, I'm seeing either a head and shoulders pattern or flag pattern here. So let's assume both. So I'm going to draw on both these patterns, right, simultaneously, because there is potential confluence within support levels. For those who don't know what that means, essentially it's like an intersection of support levels. You have multiple support levels that are intersecting at one point, right? So again, head and shoulders there, and again, potentially a bearish flag about here. Now, hopefully you guys are sticking with me. I hope this is not too messy, right? So we have two patterns here. Again, if I'm looking to jump in right now, I'd argue it's at a pretty good buy. Just looking at my other indicators here, my RSI indicator down here, it's locating at a pretty low point on the indicator that typically indicates signs of a good buying position. And then on my MACD indicator, it looks like momentum is starting to reverse and look more towards the bullish direction. So I think right now you could really buy in, honestly. Obviously, things can keep selling off. That's where you have risk management. Set your alerts, guys. But here's what I'm going to do. So whether it's a head and shoulders pattern or a bull flag pattern, I think generally speaking, we're testing in this region. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set an alert just below the current price level at about where that support line is in that bull flag pattern. I'm going to set an alert indicating potentially bearish movement at or below $43.20. So I have a bear indicator there for me. That is my bear alert. Next, I'll set a bull alert. So for here, so we have that support about here of the head and shoulders pattern, and we have the resistance of the bull flag pattern. I'm going to try to find somewhere in the middle and set an alert there. At or above 45.06 is my bullish alert signal. So I want to see if it can break through there now. Let me take even a further step back. The indicator's coming, guys. Oh my goodness. If you don't know what I'm talking about, man, you need to get with the channel, man. You need to get with the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It's popping up below here. Smash that. Smash the notification bell, man, because you're going to be missing out on videos that have the volume profile indicator, son. Here we go, volume profile indicator. I like to use this because, again, it can be an indicator of reference to generalize where price might gravitate towards next. How this works, it likes to follow these big humps here on these blue sidebars, right? So that's where price typically likes to gravitate towards. Right now, it's in the vicinity of where most of the price has generally been in these last few days. So it makes sense. We're still within this period. I think it's going to take a little bit for us to kind of break through. Now, if we do, I think the next place we get tested is about this median point at about that $44.94 mark. So if you're looking to more day trade or looking for potential signs of a breakthrough, confirmation, positive bullish momentum, I think in the very interim where it'll kind of get tested, indicating bullish signs, is again at about where I set that alert, that $45.06 mark, or $44.94. Either one, generally around $45, I think is where it'll get tested next in the bullish direction. All right, so that's how I feel about potential movements for this stock. Let's talk a little bit about the future here. So let's take a step back. Let's look at the big picture, guys. Okay, so here's NIO. Okay, here's how it's been performing the last 6 months. This is pretty tremendous. Now, for you guys that are in this long term, let me tell you this: those bears, man, they're gonna be wrong. I'm telling you, they're scared, man. They're scared. I know I'm gonna upset some people, but hey, this is all opinionated. Again, I'm not a financial expert. This is not financial advice. But guys, there's nothing telling me this company is gonna start tanking out of nowhere. There's more good than bad that is coming. If you bears can convince me, please do. I will pull out all my money today, because I keep seeing comments like, sell, 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 sell. Oh, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Tell you what, man. Let me know in the comments. I'll screenshot it. And then when I make a video a few months from now and I'm cashing out on this stock, I'll let you know then how we're doing. But guys, just giving you guys crap. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, guys. I'm just giving them crap. But here's my point. I think NIO is going to be fine. I think you long-term investors, don't fall into the fear, right? It's just going through periods of understanding, testing. That's what a stock does. If you guys have never invested before, this is where patience and discipline always wins. It's going to happen. If you're holding something for more than a year or two, you think there's never going to be a period within that time where this thing might drop 10%, 15, 20. It's part of the game, guys. Stick with it. Stick to your plan. Stay disciplined. I think you'll be all right. So that's all I have for today, guys. Smash that like, smash it if it helped you out. I hope it did. I'm still trying to gauge the content for you guys. I hope you like these videos, and if you do, let me know below in those comments. Also, feel free to subscribe. You get access to a free Discord channel, and you also get weekly videos from yours truly. Some of the videos even have your guys' involvement. So what I'm starting to do now, I'm posting on my community tab. So for those who are subscribers, especially those that are in the Discord, you know, I'll post something like, you know, what are you guys looking at? What stocks you want me to do a technical analysis for? Let me know below, and it'll make it in the video, okay? Very likely. If it's something very common, people like, it's popular, good feedback, it's definitely going to make it into the videos. So again, love to hear back from you guys. But that's all I have for today. Good luck to you the rest of this last trading week of the 2020 year, and happy trading.